Tuesday afternoon, 2016. Boots Cosmetics store on High Street, Solihull. A woman picks up items from the shelves. Shampoo, cosmetics, skincare products. The woman places the basket on the counter and says 4 words that will make her £500,000 over the next 4 years. "I need a refund." The cashier says, "Do you have a receipt?" The woman's response is smooth. Practiced. She has done this hundreds of times before and will do it hundreds more. Sometimes she claims she lost the receipt. Sometimes she says she paid with cash. Sometimes she produces a receipt from a previous legitimate purchase. The explanation varies depending on the store's refund policy, which she has studied carefully. What happens next depends on the retailer's customer service training. Many stores have policies designed around one principle: satisfy the customer. The cashier calls a supervisor. The supervisor asks a few questions. The woman just explains that she bought these items yesterday, or received them as a gift, or decided they were not right for her. The supervisor approves the refund. Better to lose £50 than create an unhappy customer who might leave a negative review online. The woman walks out with cash in her hand. She never paid for the items. She picked them off the shelf 60 seconds ago. The woman's name is Narinder Kaur. She is 46 years old, lives in Cleverton, Wiltshire, and this is not a one-time scam. This is her full-time job. Between July 2015 and September 2019, she will repeat this exact process over 1,000 times, in dozens of cities across the UK, earning approximately £2,000 per week, every single week, for 4 years. Steve Tristram, a fraud investigator with 40 years of police experience, will later say, "She is, without doubt, the most dishonest person I have ever dealt with in my entire career." Cleverton, Wiltshire, 2015. Narinder Kaur has a problem. She needs money. Lots of it. But she does not want to work a traditional job. She starts noticing something during regular shopping trips. Retail refund policies are remarkably generous. Major stores will process returns with minimal verification. Customer service representatives are trained to avoid conflict. She decides to test something. She buys a cosmetics item at Boots, gets a receipt. The next day, she returns to a different Boots location, picks an identical item from the shelf, takes it to the counter with her receipt from yesterday. "I would like to return this." The cashier processes the refund, no questions asked. Kaur walks out with her money back and the original item still at home. She just made free money. The store lost the product and the refund amount. Kaur gained both. She tries it again. Different store. Same method. Works perfectly. Then she realizes something crucial. She does not even need to buy the items first. She can just take them from the shelf and immediately request a refund. Many stores will process the refund anyway rather than accuse a customer of lying. This is the moment Narinder Kaur becomes Tiara, professional retail fraudster. She begins studying refund policies obsessively, downloads policy documents from major retailers, calls customer service lines asking hypothetical questions, visits stores and observes how refunds get processed. She learns which stores require receipts and which do not, which chains offer cash refunds versus store credit, which products have the highest return value relative to size and weight, which managers are most likely to approve exceptions to policy. She identifies her primary targets: Boots, Debenhams, Homebase, John Lewis, House of Fraser, Monsoon, Marks & Spencer, TK Maxx. Major retailers with customer-friendly policies and hundreds of locations across the UK. Her method becomes systematic. Step 1. Drive to a town she has not visited recently, usually 30 to 50 miles from home, far enough that staff will not recognize her from previous visits. Step 2. Enter the store. Browse normally for a few minutes. Act like a regular customer. Pick up items. Read labels. Compare products. No rushing. No suspicious behavior. Step 3. Select high-value items. Cosmetics are perfect. Small, expensive, easy to carry. Perfumes work well. Skincare products. Electronics when she can manage it. Anything with good return value. Step 4. Place items carefully in a basket or trolley. Between 3 and 8 items usually. Not so many that it looks excessive. Not so few that it is barely worth the effort. Step 5. Walk to the checkout counter. Place items down. Take a breath. Then deliver the line. "I need to return these." Step 6. The story varies based on the store's policy and the staff member's reaction. Sometimes she claims she bought them yesterday but lost the receipt. Sometimes she says she received them as a gift but they are not right. Sometimes she produces a receipt from a previous legitimate purchase of different items. Step 7. If the cashier hesitates, stay calm. Stay polite. If necessary, ask for a manager. Most managers will approve the refund rather than create a scene. They are trained to prioritize customer satisfaction. Step 8. Accept the cash, gift card, or account credit. Thank them politely. Leave the store calmly. Do not rush. Do not look back. Step 9. Drive to the next town. Different store. Same method. Repeat. The genius is in the repetition and distribution. One refund is not suspicious. 10 refunds at different stores do not get connected. But 1,000 refunds across 4 years at hundreds of locations? That is a systematic criminal operation generating over £500,000. 2016. Kaur transforms fraud into a full-time career. She is not hitting local stores anymore. She is traveling across the entire UK. Monday, Solihull, Worcester, Cheltenham. Tuesday, Malvern, Shrewsbury. Wednesday, Cardiff, Trowbridge. Thursday, Reading, Yeovil. Friday, Barnstaple, Chesterfield. Every week follows the same pattern. Wake up early. Drive to a cluster of towns. Hit 5 to 10 stores per day. Return home with cash and gift cards. Repeat. She rents cars to avoid detection. Using her own vehicle would create a traceable pattern. License plate recognition. CCTV footage showing the same car at multiple fraud locations. Rental cars eliminate this risk. She opens multiple bank accounts. When deposits from one account start looking suspicious, too many cash deposits, too many retail gift card redemptions, she switches to another account. Lloyds, Barclays, HSBC, Nationwide. Each bank sees a fraction of the total money flow. She varies her targets strategically. Hits Boots in Birmingham on Monday. Does not return to that specific branch for at least 2 months. Hits a different Boots in Cardiff on Wednesday. Another Boots in Reading the following week. The stores operate independently. They do not share transaction data quickly enough to spot the pattern. She learns which days and times are best. Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons. Stores are busy enough that staff are distracted, but not so crowded that she has to wait in long queues. Early mornings are too quiet, staff remember faces. Weekends are too chaotic, too many witnesses. She develops personas. Sometimes she is a busy professional who does not have time for lengthy questions. Sometimes she is a confused gift recipient who does not understand why someone gave her these products. Sometimes she is a regular customer who is disappointed with her purchase. Each persona matches the situation. The CCTV footage from hundreds of stores shows the same choreography. Woman enters, browses briefly, selects items from shelves, places them in basket or trolley, walks to checkout, requests refund, leaves with cash or gift card. Total time in store, 8 to 15 minutes. But no single store realizes they are being systematically defrauded. They see one unusual refund, maybe 2 over several months. Not enough to investigate. Not worth the effort of reporting to police. Just a customer service transaction gone slightly wrong. Kaur is exploiting the fragmentation of retail systems. Each store operates as an independent profit center. Each transaction gets processed separately. Loss prevention departments track patterns within their own locations but rarely share data with other branches. The pattern only becomes visible when someone collects evidence across multiple retailers. That will not happen until 2018. By then, Kaur will have stolen over £300,000. Late 2017, Kaur's bank accounts start getting closed. First, it is Lloyd's. Letter arrives. We are closing your account due to suspicious activity. No detailed explanation. Banks do not have to justify their decisions. Then HSBC. Same message. Nationwide follows 2 months later. The banks are not coordinating, but their fraud detection algorithms are flagging the same patterns. Too many cash deposits from retail refunds, too many gift card redemptions, transaction patterns that do not match normal consumer behavior. Kaur realizes she has a problem. Without bank accounts, she cannot deposit the cash she is collecting, cannot convert gift cards into usable money. The fraud operation stalls. She needs a solution, and she discovers one that is completely legal: change her name. In the UK, changing your name through deed poll is straightforward. Fill out forms, pay £36, get the documents certified by a solicitor. Your new name is legally recognized for all purposes including banking, passports, and official documents. Narinder Kaur becomes Nina Tiara. The name is deliberately different, does not sound similar. Different surname entirely. Someone searching for Narinder Kaur will not find Nina Tiara unless they know to look for the connection. With her new identity, she walks into banks she has never used before, opens fresh accounts as Nina Tiara, provides her deed poll certificate as proof of identity. Clean banking history, no red flags. The system treats her as a new customer. She opens accounts at smaller building societies: Yorkshire Building Society, Coventry Building Society, regional institutions that are less likely to have sophisticated fraud detection, more likely to process transactions without excessive scrutiny. The identity change buys her another year of operations: fresh accounts to deposit cash, new credit cards to obtain, reset financial footprint. But it also makes her crimes more serious. She is not just committing fraud, she is deliberately evading detection through identity change. When this eventually reaches court, prosecutors will point to this as evidence of sophisticated criminal planning. Early 2018. Kaur realizes refund fraud alone is not sustainable. Banks are detecting patterns faster, even with her new identity. She acquires stolen credit card details, dozens of valid numbers with security codes. The source remains unclear: dark web purchases, data breaches, or an inside accomplice. 3 main schemes. Scheme 1. Purchase items online with stolen cards, have them delivered to controlled addresses. Resell for cash before fraud is reported. Scheme 2. Overpay bills with stolen cards, then request refunds to her legitimate account. She overpays her heating oil supplier by £3,000, claims it was a mistake, gets refunded. By the time chargebacks happen, she has the money. Scheme 3. Pay legitimate expenses, council tax, utilities, insurance, with stolen cards. Services are received before payments are reversed. Her boldest attempt: paying Wiltshire Council £7,400 for council tax, then claiming she meant £740. The council's fraud detection catches this and reports to police, but similar schemes succeed elsewhere. She coordinates with an unidentified male accomplice for more complex operations. He pays her heating bills with stolen cards. When fraud is discovered, the supplier loses money, while Kaur keeps the oil. Their most elaborate scheme targets solicitors. Kaur instructs 8 law firms to file claims against her brother for alleged business disputes. The accomplice, posing as her brother's representative, settles using stolen cards. Solicitors transfer settlement money to Kaur as their client. Weeks later, when fraud surfaces, solicitors realize they have been scammed. Some face their own losses. This scheme alone nets over £15,000 across 8 firms. She has evolved from shoplifter to orchestrator of complex fraud involving multiple parties, stolen financial instruments, and legal system manipulation. Summer 2018. National Business Crime Solution, funded by major UK retailers, spots something unusual: the same face in CCTV footage across different stores, cities, and dates. Despite varying appearance, different hair, clothes, glasses, facial recognition flags the same individual at Boots in Solihull, John Lewis in Reading, Marks and Spencer in Cardiff, Debenhams in Winchester. The analyst finds dozens, possibly hundreds, of matches. NBCS contacts West Mercia Police, who assign fraud investigator Steve Tristram, a specialist in organized retail crime. Tristram recognizes this is systematic, professional, sustained over years. But facial recognition finds no match in police databases. She has no record. He tries tracing gift cards from refunds. Cards issued in Birmingham and Cardiff get used in the same Wiltshire locations, near Chippenham. Phone location data reveals one number appearing repeatedly at fraud locations, traced to Chosen Hill, Cleverton. Resident, Narinder Kaur, age 53, no criminal record. Social media confirms she is the woman from CCTV. Now begins the painstaking evidence collection. Tristram's team contacts every targeted retailer, requesting transaction records, CCTV, and staff statements, documenting over 1,000 separate incidents. Subpoenaed bank records for both Narinder Kaur and Tiara reveal deposits matching refund amounts, timing correlating with store visits, and total cash flow vastly exceeding legitimate income. Rental car records show dates matching fraud sprees in distant cities, with mileage matching distances between fraud locations. Cell tower and GPS data place her inside stores at exact refund times. By late 2019, Tristram has built one of the UK's most comprehensive retail fraud cases, over 1,000 documented incidents, hundreds of hours of CCTV, bank records proving over £500,000 in fraudulent proceeds, and phone vehicle data confirming systematic travel patterns. September 2019. Police are waiting when Kaur arrives home. Multiple officers, search and arrest warrants. She is arrested on multiple fraud counts. The house search reveals gift cards from dozens of retailers worth over £8,000, receipts and shopping bags from hundreds of UK stores, multiple mobile phones, some under her original name, some under Tiara, burner phones for coordinating operations, documents related to solicitor schemes and stolen credit card operations, computers with financial records, retail location maps, and store policy notes. They seize bank statements showing massive cash flow. At the station, Kaur exercises her right to silence in both interviews. Her solicitor advises against answering questions. She is released on bail while prosecutors build their case, standard for complex fraud. Instead of reflecting or showing remorse, she decides to make everything worse. Between arrest and trial, Kaur fabricates evidence. She creates fake invoices for non-existent business income, forged expense records claiming family visits with fake relative confirmation letters, and alters bank statements using photo editing software. She produces counterfeit receipts to prove she bought returned items. The forgeries are obvious: wrong fonts, incorrect formatting, invalid transaction numbers. She submits everything to her defense team, who provide some documents to prosecution. Forensic analysts identify all fakes. Banks confirm altered statements are fraudulent. Retailers verify fake receipts. Each false document becomes a separate perverting the course of justice charge. New crimes committed while awaiting trial. The prosecution is grateful. The lies demonstrate consciousness of guilt and prove the systematic dishonesty defining her entire operation. The trial begins at Gloucester Crown Court in late 2022. It will last 4 months. One of the longest retail fraud trials in UK history. Hundreds of hours of CCTV footage are played in court, thousands of pages of bank statements, rental car records, phone data, and refund receipts are presented to the jury. Witnesses from Boots, John Lewis, Marks & Spencer, and dozens of other stores take the stand, describing the exact same calm, confident woman who walked in, filled a basket, and asked for a refund she was never entitled to. Kaur sits in the dock, still composed, still denying everything. She pleads not guilty to all charges. Her defense strategy: deny everything. Claim the prosecution cannot prove she did not legitimately purchase the items. Argue the CCTV evidence is circumstantial, that someone else could have looked just like her, that all the money came from legitimate sources she simply forgot to declare, but the evidence is overwhelming. March 10, 2023. After days of deliberation, the jury files back into the courtroom. The foreman stands guilty. Guilty on all 26 counts of fraud, money laundering, and perverting the course of justice. On the 30th of July 2024, Narinder Kaur is sentenced to 10 years in prison, one of the longest sentences ever handed down for retail crime in the United Kingdom. The judge calls her crimes breathtaking in their scale and audacity. The perfect crime was finally over.